From the Classic 107 studios in downtown Winnipeg, 107 Live for Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.
And so, this morning, we are very happy to have a 107 Live this morning, Birchwood Jaguar 107 Live. I wasn't sure if he's going to be bringing his cello in, but he did bring his cello in. So here we have in the studio with us cellist and artistic director of the Agassiz Chamber Music Festival, Paul Marleyn. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Welcome back to one of your favorite cities in the world, let me say.
Totally.
Can I say that? Totally.
You can.
Not putting you on the spot or anything.
No, this is my second home.
Second home. Well, I'm glad to have you back again. So before we do a chat about the Agassiz Chamber Music Festival, you're going to play a short work for us, right? Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, I thought it would be nice to play just a little bit of a beautiful piece by Canadian-Chinese composer Chan Ka-nin for solo cello called Soulmate. And it's an interesting piece because it was written, I think, for his wife, Alice Ho, who's a pretty well-known Canadian composer too. There's a nice little quote about the piece. He says, "It reflects my loving and understanding relationship with my wife of more than 22 years. I've met them, actually. They're both pretty fiery people, so I suspect that there's more than just love and understanding in this piece."
All right, let's have a listen to what goes on. There you have Paul Marleyn on the cello performing one of the works that you'll hear, just a short part of the work, I should say, not the complete thing. He'll be performing that at the Agassiz Chamber Music Festival. So let's have a chat, Paul. Tell me, first of all, this is how many years now for the Agassiz Chamber?
This is our 18th festival.
18th festival. Wow. Yeah. And you've been there since day one?
Since 2000, yeah.
Since day one.
Yeah.
So what are the roots? How did this all come together?
How did it come together? Well, it came together because we saw an article in the Winnipeg Free Press, and the article was complaining about the fact that in Winnipeg during the summer months, there's no classical music at all. And that seems so strange in a city with such a strong arts community, such a rich cultural life. So I was actually having a beer with...
I thought it might have been over a beer.
with David Stewart, violinist who was then living in wonderful violinist who was then living in Winnipeg, and we thought, well, we should do something about that, and we bounced the idea off a few people, and everyone said, yeah, you should do it. So we did.
Easier said than done, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's what's been really fun is with the first festival, it was kind of a surprising hit. It was a really strong response. That was actually a teaching festival with some concerts, and it's morphed now into just a concert festival, which is fun. And we've got a wonderful team, the board, and we've have a general manager and president and treasurer and all these people that really make the festival happen. It's a great team. So we're very fortunate, and for me, it's incredible to have seen this tiny seed grow into such a strong festival, and we have a wonderful enthusiastic, loyal audience. So it's hugely gratifying.
So kind of like this caterpillar here, it's turned into a beautiful butterfly.
That's true.
Okay. So let's talk about chamber music for a second. And what do you think? What is the appeal? Like, what chamber music is hugely popular. Symphonies are as well, but some people, find symphonies can be a little bit too loud and brash, and then they fade out and fade up. What do you think it is about chamber music in particular that appeals to people?
Well, I was brought up getting to know the symphonic repertoire, and I love that music. It's fantastic repertoire. And when I was a student at the Royal Academy of Music in London, I was invited to a party at the home of a kind of famous violinist called Emanuel Hurwitz. He was leader of the English Chamber Orchestra at that time. Really wonderful guy. He was kind of a grandfather type. He was his late 60s, really lovely person. And I was there kind of a wide-eyed young kid, just kind of learning a lot. And a few professionals kind of got up at this party. It was a chamber music party, so it was a party where people would just kind of play together for fun. It was kind of jam together. I don't remember what the piece was which was being played, but there was a cellist called Michael Hurwitz, the son of this guy, who played, and he had a beautiful Testore cello, priceless Testore cello. And I remember I was sitting on the floor, and I was about 1.5 meters from him, and I think they were playing a piano. Actually, they were playing the Mozart E-flat piano quartet, a gorgeous piece. And the experience of the sound and the music was so powerful. It was a huge sound, when you're 1.5 meters away. It was just visceral, and I was so excited by that. And that's when I think chamber music grabbed me. So you just going back to your question, what's so special about it? I think it's that it's so personal. It's like one person is talking to you directly. There's no conductor involved. It's direct kind of communication. It's really like somebody is talking to you, sitting in the audience, one-to-one. It's kind of, and the amazing thing about music is there's no misunderstanding. It's kind of heart to heart, in a way. There's no words to be confusing between you. So it's just kind of pure emotion. So I think that's what's so amazing about chamber music.
And with the plethora of amazing pieces to choose from, how do you go about paring it down to just the ones that you're going to be featuring for this year's Agassiz Chamber Music Festival? Is that your job as artistic director, and you sort of recruit the artist and say, well, this is my idea, and is there sort of a back and forth, or is
totally
back and forth?
Yeah. So I've learned with time what are the best recipes that create the most energy and excitement and enthusiasm. And I find that once you've engaged the artists, if you then ask them any pieces you'd like to play, that works really well, because the quality of artists we're getting here, they're in huge demand, and they're playing in many festivals right across the world in this summer. So, for example, Martin's just come from Japan. He was playing, Martin Beaver has just come from Japan. He was playing a festival there. So he was playing a bunch of pieces. So I was in touch with him and asked him, what would you like to play? And he's got a list of pieces he's playing across the world throughout the summer. So if he can be playing the same piece in a few festivals, he's going to sound way more comfortable than if he's playing, a piece that he hasn't played for 25 years. And he has to kind of bring it out of the closet. And so it really helps to do that. For example, the Trout Quintet is the last piece we're playing on the program. It's a beautiful piece. I played that with Martin Beaver in a festival of the Sound near Toronto last summer. So it's fun to do that again, and we're playing Eine Kleine Nachtmusik tonight. And I played that again with Martin and with Graham Oppenheimer, English violist, also in that same festival. So there are lots of connections like that all the way through the festival, of pieces that various people have played together in different festivals. Like Dave Harding and Martin are huge friends. They've known each other for 30 years. So they have a huge history and they love drinking together. So it kind of... there are lots of threads that connect. So all those things go into choosing repertoire. Also, I have a list of all the repertoire we've played from the last 18 years.
So you try not to be too repetitive.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, do something different every year.
Yeah.
So the theme for this year, well, let me just mention I'm in the studio. We're talking about the Agassiz Chamber Music Festival, if you're just tuning in. And I've got the artistic director, Paul Marleyn. He's also a cellist. He's performing in a bunch of the shows. It begins tonight, runs until June 16th. So it's basically from tonight until next Friday with a whole bunch of different concerts. Now, there is a theme for this year.
There
kind
is.
of. Canada 150.
Canada
so what are you guys
150.
doing for Canada 150?
Well, it's a fun excuse.
Stompin' Tom Connors and people like that, and Tragically Hip and Neil Young, kind of that stuff? No, not quite.
Not quite. Well, we don't have the right instruments for that. I mean,
no electric guitar and drums in this one.
It's great music too.
Not that kind of chamber.
No. So we were thinking it would be fun to celebrate Canada, and the opening concert tonight is doing exactly that. And I was having a good time thinking about imaginative ways to reflect Canada, and in a way, Canada, as we know it, is made up of so many strong communities of peoples that came from right across the world. So I thought it would be nice to choose music that would reflect. I chose 8 of those communities or ethnicities. So we've got France and Germany and China and Ukraine, Britain, Poland, First Nations, France. Of course, there should be more, but the concert, it would go on for 5 hours if we did, if we did that. So we had to pare it down to 8. So then it's fun to choose some wonderful pieces of music that reflect those groups. So the piece I just played, Soulmate, that is representing China. And my wife is Chinese, so that's kind of fun too. And there's a lovely Ukrainian piece by Prokofiev, British piece.
Elgar.
Yeah, Elgar.
Yep.
Salut de mort. So the whole festival is actually also reflecting that theme. We have a concert of French music. We have a Jewish concert. We have a German concert. We have a concert reflecting the next generation. Actually, a whole day of concerts. And in the evening concert, we're featuring Joshua Peters, award-winning Winnipeg violinist, who's now just won a position in the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. We were just rehearsing last night. It was very fun. And then actually the last concert, we're celebrating the great Canadian outdoors. I love hiking and canoeing and skating and skiing. So that I thought that would be a nice way to finish. And we rather humorously decided on the Trout Quintet.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you represent the outdoors? You've got the Pat Carabray piece, right? Which is the premiere of that piece?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, world premiere of that piece called 10,000 Lakes.
Yeah.
For string quartet and piano. Then you've got Debussy, bridge, and
Prélude à
Schubert.
l'après-midi d'un faun. So it's from mythology, but reflecting a faun. It's an incredibly beautiful work. So yeah, all sorts of pieces. Also, there's an English piece that has a hornpipe, so it's very earthy music. It's incredibly English.
Frank Bridge.
Yeah, it's a great little piece. So yeah, that's being the last concert, it's just a fun concert.
Well, they all sound amazing.
Yes,
they do.
Yeah,
they do, and
great program.
The concerts start tonight, and they're every night all the way through next Friday. You can go to agassizfestival.com for tickets as well, and it looks like a lot of fun. I'm sure you have a lot of fun putting it together too. And now the work begins, I guess. Well, no, now the work was already done. Now the fun begins, I should say.
I think that's true. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's kind of the administration or the organizing that you need to do all that. But that's a little bit less exciting. When the rehearsals start, that for me is when the fun begins. And it's an amazing. I mean, yeah, of course, as artistic director, I would say that, but it is actually an amazing group of players this year, and they get on really well. You know that from the first rehearsal, just from the dynamic in the room. It's amazing level too, just incredibly high level. It's great.
Well, have fun.
Thanks.
You're here for a week.
Will.
Again, welcome back to Winnipeg.
Thank you.
It looks like you got nice weather.
Well,
for sure.
I'm really enjoying it.
I've been in conversation with Paul Marleyn. He's the artistic director of the Agassiz Chamber Music Festival since its beginning. Wow. And he is also a cellist. You can see him performing. And if you missed his performance here, well, we'll put it up on our website. Just a little example of some of the music you will hear at the festival.
107 Live is Classic 107's intimate concert series, brought to you by Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.